Well, hello. Good morning. Well, it's morning to me. I don't know when you're going to watch this. You could be watching this at night. Who knows? Greetings. I'm Drew, your Tinsel Town taxi. Trying out this little daily vlog attempt. All right, Sunday morning. Yes, Sunday the 3rd. Just had an interesting day. Worked Saturday morning to afternoon. Slept, came out at midnight, and then have been working pretty much all night. So it's been interesting. My last two trips, wow, that was a good lesson in that. So stick around because, oops, let me turn the music down some. They're playing some choral music. Not too good. And if it's not Bach or Brahms or Mozart or Beethoven, it's not that good. Yeah, so the last two trips I had, whoa, what a story. You'll want to stick around for that. Alright, so, let's see, I started 4 o'clock in the morning Saturday. But nothing happened. I just kind of sat here at Union Station. Alright, let's see. Here's Union Station right there. One of the last great classical train stations. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I come here often. It's a nice place to come in the morning because you can often get starting about 6. They usually get a lot of rides, but nothing this morning. So it's looking like it's going to be pretty dead here. So I'm not going to stick around too much. I'm just going to go get some sleep. And starting about 6, head over to the airport because our pink was yesterday on Saturday. And there was nothing. Saturdays are usually very dead for pinks. So they compensate us by giving us a little time at night on Sundays if your pink day falls on Saturday. Yeah, so that was it. Came out Saturday morning, 4 o'clock, then wasted about 3.5 hours with nothing. Nothing was going on. About 7:30 I get a ride. Kind of a short trip, 2.5 miles. Let's see. Then 2 little short trips after that. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're having a convention downtown too. It's a convention of writers. Getting quite a few rides off of that. Yeah, people who write for TV, people who write for the movies, so forth, right? That they're having a big convention, 13,000 according to what one of the ladies said. Because I picked one at the East Hotel, which I often go to, since I can log into 2 zones when I'm parked there, and they have good Wi-Fi, which is so I can watch my YouTube videos there. So anyways, I picked up a lady there. She went to the convention center, and yeah. So short little trips, $6 trips. Oh yeah, and then I picked up a nice young couple, and they were going out to some restaurant on Melrose, kind of in Midtown. So that was a good $31 trip. And then from there, I get a trip from the hospital in that part of town, which is Cedars Sinai Hospital, and the streets are named after George Burns and Gracie Allen. Good night, Gracie. And that was a good long trip. But from there, he was going into downtown, and because of some filming, I mean, God, the traffic was just horrendous. Because some streets were blocked off. You had to make a detour. It was a huge mess. And then no trips. And then that was about And that trip was about 12:30. We get into downtown where I needed to drop them off at 1:30, so that was a 1-hour trip, all because of this stupid, the filming and just the horrible traffic. And then it just kind of sat around, did nothing for 2 hours. And then there was a short trip from this real cheapskate. I picked her up at there's some sort of Avon, the Avon company. Yeah. She's picking up her catalogs and other things like that. And God, what a cheapskate! Wanted me to take all the stuff, load it in. And we got there, of course, she wanted me to unload it all. Expected me to, and then didn't tip me a damn thing. What a cheapskate. Alright, so then pretty much nothing was going on, so I just went home and went to sleep. Alright, so then I woke up about, woke up about 8 o'clock, kind of sat around and watched videos and did a few other things. And then started working about midnight. And then I came back, of course, here, since this is kind of the starting point you want to go. And there was just one little thing where he went right over to, you can't really see it from here, but he just wanted to go to City Hall. Came right back. And then I got a call over to Chinatown, which is right over there. And they were going down to the Westin Bonaventure. It's a big hotel. And it's some of the people who were, like I said, part of this writers' convention. 4 people right there. And of course, I had my book here, the Dickens book, right here on the. So we get to talking about poetry and writers, and so that was a fun little trip, even though it was kind of short, but it was cool. Let's see, what was it on? Yeah, from there I was just downtown, and I get another call, short trip, 2.5 miles, nothing too much. Let's see, then the next one was the fun, because down on Hill Street and Olympic, they have this wild-looking club called the Mayan, and it's got this really cool Mayan theme on the facade. But that's why they call it the Mayan. It's a nightclub. It's a huge nightclub. So I got called there, and it's about 2 o'clock or a little after 2. So that's when all the clubs are shutting down, and there's people on the sidewalk, and I get called there, and there's 2 people waving, a couple, and they jump in, and I said, "Are you Jose?" And they said, "No." So they kind of laughed. And we just kind of waited a few minutes, and Jose never showed up. So I took him up to Echo Park. So that was a nice little $16 trip. And then I came right back here to Union Station, since that was the closest thing. And then I picked up a young guy, since, actually I didn't come here, but they had a call to here since there were no cabs. So that was a very lucky thing. I got here, there's the young guy, he's waiting. So I take him out to where the 710 ends. Yeah, and along the way we talked about poetry, which is interesting. He looked kind of tired and kind of worn out. Maybe been drinking a little, not sure. But we talked about poetry and how he's... he's a young guy, but he had a really good analysis that, poetry sucks these days. The way people read it's terrible. Just the modern poetry is just horrible. Because I talked about classical poetry. Again, he was running from the book I had right here on my armrest. And so that was a $20 trip right there. So, and he apologized for not having any change beyond the 20 that he had. So that was cool. It was a good discussion. Let's see. Oh yes, and then as usual, I get a trip from the IHOP, which is on 8th and Flower. I always seem to get trips from this IHOP. I don't know why. At nighttime, right at light, but it's just some really poor guy. He had to go to the hospital a few blocks away, which was nothing more than a $6 trip. Well, he paid at least. Let's see. Oh yes, and then the kicker of the night was the guy I picked up on at a Burger King. Like I said, I was waiting at the Ace Hotel, and I get a call all the way up on Grand and Cesar Chavez at a Burger King. So I rush up, and when I get there, what I see is a car that's been involved in a very serious accident on a tow truck, and the guy there next to it he's waving at me. So I pull in. He gets in, or he discusses with the tow truck driver. He gets in, and apparently this guy was at the clubs tonight. Met a girl. They hit it off. They decided to go back to her place because he lives in San Diego. So this gets interesting. So anyways, they head back to her place. And along the way, she starts to get a little frisky, according to what he said. And they start to fool around in the car while they're driving. And they're on the 110. And apparently, and it's that point, because he's distracted, that some guy just whacked right into them. Just the whole front right portion of the car was just completely wrecked. Yeah, so they got this, and she had to go to the, she was slightly injured because he was on the passenger side, so she had to go to the Good Samaritan Hospital, which is the closest emergency room near that part on the 110. And, whew, oh boy. So anyways, I pick him up there. He had to go all the way to the airport, LAX, to go to the Avis rental car place where he get the car originally. So that was a good $56 trip right there. And so I drop him off at the rental car place, go to one of the nearby hotels at the airport, the Courtyard Marriott, because they have Wi-Fi there. So I'm watching a couple of videos, and then I get a notice here that says, go back. He's requesting you again. And so I get back there, and apparently he's going to go back to the yard where this tow truck is, which is on Vernon near Alameda, which is in it's South Central LA, which is not a nice place. Anyways, that's where the tow truck is, so we got to go all the friggin' way back to this to get his car and get it out of this yard, which is going to cost him $300, if you can imagine that stuff. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned the time my car got stolen, and when the bastards that stole it just ran it out of gas and just abandoned it. The LA police picked it up, took it to their yard, and to get it out, we had to pay $400. Insane amount, like $400. I mean, imagine your car gets stolen, and then you got to go pick it up at the yard, or the yard, and you got to pay money to get it out. Jeez, what a freaking scam. So, anyways, I pick him up at the rental car place, take him back to the tow yard, or the yard where the tow trucks are, and he's got to go call a AAA to get them to tow the truck to the rental car place where he's going to drop it off. So Jesus Christ. And then he's going to drive back to San Diego. And he said, no, I'm not going to get back till 12, so about noon. So, whoo. Pardon. So, the moral of the story is do not fool around or don't do hanky-panky in a moving car on the highway, because it's going to cost you. Big time. Well, so that was my Saturday and Sunday morning. Hope that wasn't too long, but hey. Alright, so it's pretty good. Let's see, I got $89 left on my lease. And if there's some pinks tonight, I'll easily just easily knock that off. But if not, I can just work tomorrow too and take care of it. Alright, anyways, but I imagine if there's pinks tonight, I'll easily knock off my lease so I can just take it easy Monday and kick back. Yeah. Which is good. Okay, so hi. This is Drew, your Tinseltown Taxi. I'm wishing you the best. Alright. Isn't it exciting? Man.